he said that would be the best gift.
Well, let's hope that he gets the best gift out there as we head into our match.
And the gift to us and the viewers, some Dota 2 as we get into game 1 of this best of 3. Happy birthday to Yatoro, celebrating today. Let's see if he can get some nice presents as he's got this Shadow Fiend.
Yeah, gets his hand on one of the top carries, the top carry in the current patch. And yeah, Yatoro, the best gift you can give to a Dota player, just give me a good game, man. You know, he just wants to play. And yeah, this lane Milan talked about, it's very nasty. You can pull people in with the ensnare, of course, and then you have SF. Also nice minus armor synergy. There's a lot of stuff that you want to be careful about.
The forbidden combo, not just in lane, but in game, right? Song with Requiem, got that ensnare with Razors. You've also got Song with the Rolling Thunder, and this ability to reset the fights when Mars Arena and Supernova come into play. So it does tick a lot of boxes. As we were looking at the end of that draft, wondering what Panto was going to play.
Yeah. Actually, it's not a minus armor synergy anymore. I still think of it like that in my brain, but
true.
Yeah, she doesn't minus armor at all. It's just the slow movement speed and the magical damage. So.
Yeah.
We see Planet trying to get a courier snipe. He's gonna get it. Does have boots on the Rasta, so can be quite sneaky.
I need to keep the distance away from that Naga. Play keep away somewhat.
Rasta isn't terrible against Naga in lane, though. He does have the Hex on auto attack, so he can use that to insta-kill some of the illusions here and there. He does use it immediately and then. And then Tiny against Sniper. Not really the best matchup for Sniper. Early on, lasted twice. Since Tiny has so much lasted damage, you can already see 8 and 2 versus 3 and 1 on mid lane. So Laurel definitely off to a good start.
Yeah, especially in the next like couple of waves, denies are going to start racking up for Laurel.
Yeah, it's when you get like level 3, get some items on Sniper, then lane becomes harder for Tiny, but he should still be able to farm his bottle into Soul Ring builds that he relies on for farming.
And Sniper is still Mr. Wraithband, isn't he?
Yeah, Wraithbands get at least 1, maybe 2, go power treads early. Could go Orb of Corrosion in more kill lanes, but against Tiny it's pretty hard. You keep hitting him, you just lose your damage over time. The craggy exterior really stacks up, and yeah, you can see he's already doing like minus 8% damage.
It's a little bit annoying. All right, put on his ghillie suit and try and hide away. And his Planet up at top lane does get zoned away from lane. Naga Illusions chasing all across. And what's the goal here? Courier Snipe and Bounty Rune? Because he's got no regen, really.
I think Courier Snipe, and yeah, maybe go for pulling next to Creep Wave if you can.
One more hit. Under tower. Doesn't want to go and risk it.
Even with boots, Rasta is just not that fast of a hero. 330 movement speed with boots versus the 330 movement speed without boots of the Naga. Seems fair.
Chicken Chaser. Where do the chickens run? Can't even catch them.
Chicken Chaser, the hero.
I'm looking forward to the new Fable game. It's in
Same, yeah. Hopefully,
I was a big fan of the first one.
Hopefully, it's not one of those Molinilla over-promising things again, but we'll see.
I wasn't a fan of Fable 3, to be honest with you.
No, 1 and 2, that's where it was good.
Absolutely.
Rasta did manage to get the pull through, get the pull behind the tier 1 tower, and even used the shackles on one of her creeps just to get some HP back for himself. He's too low HP, he doesn't really feel comfortable.
Panto trying to play behind this tower. The Planet's going to walk into him.
Yeah, this is a hard hero to trade into as Rasta. Even though Rasta hits really hard, Naga just has a lot of armor to begin with. Can, of course, keep just making illusions, get favorable trades.
I need to give Shadow Shaman a barge pole. Stay 10 feet away from Naga at all times. Even going to come here and make sure you scout out any stacks being made. So he's stacking camp in jungle himself and then blocking enemy camps to make sure they're not being stacked. So getting a lot of utilization out of these illusions early on.
Yeah, also scouting and just checking where people are, you know, moving. Keep an eye on this Rasta at all times. So very difficult for him to make moves towards mid, because otherwise Sniper plus Rasta might be able to kill off the Tiny, but it's just going to be hard to get past the guard that is the Naga Siren.
And then because Sniper's not going for any bottle or anything, it's Tiny getting all the runes and perma refills. Shackles from Planet, going to try and keep Panto at bay. We saw Yatoro starting to wander over there. But can't connect in any meaningful way.
Yeah,
And then down the bottom, we've not really looked at too much. Collapse and Rue, the Pango, and the Hoodwink into a Sven Phoenix lane.
Yeah, and so far, Collapse is owning this lane, 27-6 versus 16-4. So the lane's working out really well. I think a lot of that can be attributed to Hoodwink just being pretty damn strong as a boss 4. It's one of those 4s that just does a ton of damage to both the carry and the support all the time. And they do have some nice utilization for the minus armor. So this is New Age Pango. Old Pango used to skill QW and Dispel Farm.
Yeah.
But New Age Pango is 404 quite often, maxing out the Lucky Shot just to get a lot of minus armor. It stacks up to 9, and then you have Hoodwink, look, taking advantage of the minus armor, dealing extra damage with the Acorn Shot.
It's not fun when you're a Phoenix with very little armor. He's bought himself a ring of protection and tries to stay under tower as much as possible because of those exact things you're saying.
Yeah, walk away too far and you might just get bursted really fast.
So far, very good for Collapse in that bottom spot. 33 and 10, getting on top of Y. Bushwhack. He'll try and dive. Actually goes aggressive here. Back onto the Pango with the Fiery Spirits and XM rotating. 6 minutes in to get first blood and an assassination onto Rue. That's enough damage. I didn't think he'd have quite enough.
I think he got headshot proc on that.
That's how Hoodwink feels.
Yeah, headshot.
Headshot.
Yeah, a lot of damage, of course. The physical and the magical damage coming in. So 77 damage means he did get a headshot, right? So it's his 66 physical damage, gets a headshot proc on that. So yeah, if he didn't get the proc, it wouldn't be a kill.
A very good move. Because usually you'd be looking at 6 minutes, gonna come into mid, guard the active rune. Sniper doesn't care. You don't play through mid. He moves into your lane and kills you.
And now with that death though, moving top.
Bushwhack onto Bach. He's gonna get body blocked by Panto.
Gets himself to safety quite nicely though.
They're not in too much danger, but they are bringing more reinforcements up here. Planet and XM making that wander.
Yeah, it's only a level 1 Bushwhack, so hard to hold people in place for too long.
Panto does see them coming, so no grab there. And Radiant Vision also watching couriers flying on by. This move will come to nothing. Oh, just outside of the range of the sentry as well. It's very close. It's unfortunate for Spirit.
So overall, both the offlaners doing pretty well for themselves, though. Mars obviously with equal last hits to the SF, and Pango, despite the death down bottom, he's still feeling pretty good. He's going for an early defusal, 500 gold away from it at 7 minutes.
That's going to be a massive timing. And both teams get their wisdom shrines. No contesting, just a straight up laning phase. Not too much in the way of aggression. And compared to the previous series where it was really high octane from the get-go. Playing aggressive into these lanes, it seems like this one just a steadier start. Everyone getting towards their initial items, but Bach says, enough steady, let's rock things around with Yatoro getting caught in the arena, shackled and pummeled by Bach.
Yeah, for now, not much you can do as Naga there. Can't really save. Had a healing Lotus, but it would not have been enough even. It was also kept at bay by the ulti.
A 3-0 start. Very good beginnings for Vici Gaming.
I do like the way XM plays sniper. I think he's the best sniper in pro level. Generally, as a sniper spammer myself, I really think XM is the one who has the best understanding in pro level of how to utilize this hero. He never waits around and just sits and farms. He always is the first one to make active moves to side lanes, and that can be the best way to keep this squishy hero alive. Don't sit and wait for someone to gank you. Become the one who ganks the opponents.
Yeah, don't leave your artillery out in a field. Put it on the train tracks and move it around. Put it into these better positions.
What else is moving around is this gank coming down bottom.
Ruined Laurel. They're going to get it on top of Sven. Avalanche toss back towards Phoenix. Beautifully done. The setup for Rue with that Acorn shot, and Collapse comes in to slice in with his rapier to take Shiro down low, and Laurel has enough with one more punch.
Wow, that worked out really well for them. Laurel with a nice combination.
Yatoro has to go for a defensive Requiem up top. That'll push Bach away as well. But again, XM really levying that early ability to be aggressive, that early lead he's had out of that mid lane. Making this top lane very difficult for SF to come and sit and hold the wave.
Yeah, he just wants to come and say hi to Yatoro on his birthday, you know? It just gives him a little bit of a hello, some shrapnels, maybe an ulti. Kind regards. That does leave mid lane pretty open as well as the tiny focus down bottom. Sniper's gonna start laying into the tower. No snakes just yet, only a level 5 Rasta, but Planet is thinking about going for a kill.
Well, a reel in under tower. Planet's going to come and try and save this sniper with a dive from Y. And it looks like XM's just going to die here. With an avalanche toss combo, it's easy pickings. Sunray, sorry, onto Collapse in the back with Bark's Arena Spear. They found the Pango. And Collapse wanted to bite off a little bit more. Song?
The too low
nothing,
mana.
though. Laurel doesn't have much left in the tank, you're right.
Yeah, the Soul Ring cooldown, 6 seconds. Doesn't really have enough to do a toss into Avalanche play again. He does get a Haste Rune as a reward for winning this big fight. Haste Rune on Tiny, generally the best rune that you can find in the early game. It's just really, really nice to have mobility in this hero.
Very important that Bark was there, though, because that quite easily could have snowballed into, the kill on Sniper, into Shadow Shaman, into another one. But MOUZ makes sure that not only do they stop the aggression, but they get the core kill as well.
Yeah. Laurel does have a 10-minute Blink Dagger on his Tiny, so along with the haste, he also has the Blink ready. Can only imagine that Sniper is going to be on his mind, trying to get the biggest target. For now, sneaking down bottom. Sven is definitely farming pretty far away. They did see him earlier kind of making his way towards the left, not farming the Ancient Stack just yet.
3 minutes faster than record. That's a very quick blink.
Yeah, it's super, super fast. He did skip face boots, but I don't think you need face boots on Tiny, really. It can be useful, but if you can hit this super early timing on Blink instead, it's definitely stronger.
Shiro very much in catch-up mode. 4,000 net worth for him as he tries to accelerate through his jungle. Yatoro having an easier time doing that with some pre-stacked Ancients that he can clear with the Razors. So he'll stay about 1,000 ahead of his counterpart for now.
Get some good gold for himself, but he's super low right now, so no idea of defending this tier 1 tower. Just gonna back away from it.
Yeah, MOUZ comes back up top. Kill off the objective. And Dire have that vision near the Tormentor, so Yatoro knows he can stay in his pocket of farm and keep clearing jungle in relative safety for now.
Yeah, he's gonna farm probably all the way back towards base. Wants to push out the lane perhaps. Radiant for now, probably pretty happy with how the early game is going. When you're picking Sniper, as long as you don't get shut down in the early laning stage and you get to start taking towers, you feel pretty good about yourself. Mid tower is probably going to be the important point, though, if they can open up the Dire tier 1 mid.
And having Supernova for Y. A pretty big tool there. Would want to pair up with this MOUZ, get some of those combos going. Currently, though, it is very farm heavy. Just trying to make sure they guard their own Ancients with some vision, stack up camps to keep the bank accounts filled. Steady, steady from both teams. 4-4, 13 minutes in.
Yeah, there's a lot more tools now available for this next fight than was available last time. We have a lot of ultimates coming in. Phoenix ulti, we have Rasta ulti, the Naga and the Hoodwink both have theirs as well, so all the supports are ready.
They're thinking about going through the gate and heading bottom, but Spirit not really showing anyone on the map. They're just playing into this top observer board where they've seen SF and Nagasiren come across.
Yeah, they saw them on the lane with their observer ward, but realizing Naga is there, it's pretty hard to go for the SF, and they don't want to connect on Naga. It's such a low impact kill, so trying to find the Pangolier in time.
It quite easily turns from you initiating on Yatoro to him Song Requieming you.
Yeah, with perfect timing, they could definitely turn that around into a disaster for you.
Instead, kind of hunting Collapse, but he's gone back to farm some stacks. Still a lot of Ancients there to be taken down as well. I'm assuming Yatoro will come to clear that out eventually.
Yeah, most likely gonna farm that once he wants to complete his Kayasha or head on over. For now, they want to drop some attention towards top, though.
And Vici feeling that there's a move coming. They have tightened up into that bottom right-hand corner, playing alongside the Sven. But when it doesn't happen, no trap is sprung. They're kind of wondering what's going on. Good scan will turn red, so Innocence is going to put himself on the front lines here. The smoke break into Toss Requiem play, though. Very well executed to blow up the Phoenix.
Poor little Phoenix. They did look for a kill for quite a while, so Yatoro popping the ulti, just saying, you know what, this is not going to be a failed attempt. We're going to kill this guy. Maybe a bit overkill, but you and I have been calling as well. Was it PVISION playing when we said that just using your spells?
Yeah.
Right? Just use your spell slots.
On cooldown.
P-Flax was right all along.
He absolutely was. It's a wise man. And it is Yaturo's birthday. Keep giving the Dark Lord more presents.
True, that is true.
The Dark Lord needs presents.
Give him presents. I like it. That's beautiful. Not even temporary ones. Lasting ones.
Yeah.
So Tiny opted to go for Travels next after a Blink Dagger. We haven't seen too much come out of the Blink just yet. Just the one pick-off.
Well, a Rebuke into Arena Spear. Sunray onto Laurel. That's a tanky Tiny, though. Spending spells and getting no kill. Vici Gaming looking for any areas of weakness, but so far Team Spirit not offering any.
Yeah, it's hard for them as well in Vici. They don't want to overextend too much and get punished. If they play into the Team Spirit area, you might get repositioned on by the Song, right? They mentioned how Song counters out the Egg. It also counters out the Rasta wards. It also counters out the Sniper's positioning sometimes. You pop a Song, reposition, get on the Sniper. So I really think a lot comes down to this last pick.
And they're going to toss back on the Phoenix again. So twice in a row, they've found Y in that middle lane. And with a catapult wave here, it looks like they're going to press forwards towards the objective. And don't mind if I swagger.
My first birthday.
Why does he look so sad, though?
No one came. He's all alone. He bought that hat for himself.
No one came or saw or conquered. That's what Vici are going to try and do. Live up to their namesake.
Yeah. Taking the mid tower. SF stealing away some stack or some ancients as well. Baka is gonna see him though.
Hello, Yatoro. Spear into the trees. Shrapnel and the clicks from Sniper.
Oh,
Not enough to finish him, so he turns on the Egg. Will die eventually to the burn over time. And Yatoro making the most of a bad situation, but now the Naga Siren, Naga Spirit, just gonna add another Spirit to the game. Well, Team Spirit do lose two of their heroes over in that enemy jungle.
And just make her jump around as well, you know. Can imagine Naga Siren, but instead of having Song ulti, it's just like a new version of Ball Lightning, so you can TP around and split push even harder.
Instead of reel in, you just teleport
the
enemy.
worst spirit ever.
Don't take any ideas, please.
Just Naga, but with more mobility.
Well, signs of life from Vici Gaming as things have definitely been slow. Making sure they defend an area, get the Sven and Sniper involved. Shadow Shaman, a little...
It's been broken.
Little out here, though. Broken and rolled on by Collapse. Blink Dagger debut as he goes looking in the back, sees nobody. There'll just be a kill on the support.
He's going to turn around and back to farm again. Then again, we have to point out, this game, all the cores are staying with the pack, right? We don't have anyone really lagging behind, net worth-wise. Yes, Sven is leading the charge, 9.4k gold. He's pretty big. But the lowest farm is 8.3, so they're all within almost 1,000 gold range of each other. So very, very close battle. And it's going to be very interesting to see how the mid-game teamfights play out. I think Team Spirit have a better lineup of fighting cores, whereas Radiant are a bit greedier with the Sniper Sven setup here. Definitely the double carry kind of feeling, Maelstrom, Dragonlance. So it's going to be hard to navigate for Vici how to deal with those fights.
Yeah, it is interesting how these teams match up. Because I remember, you know, Tianming isn't on this team, but I remember an interview with him not long ago talking about Chinese Dota in general and how they wanted to extend games and kind of hit 2 or 3 items before they were ready to really go and take fights. So they do want to kind of delay things out and find little pick-offs on supports like this to bridge the gap before they get to that mid to late game. And it feels like, you know, that's been the MO for Chinese teams for quite some time, is try and get late, find this one strategy that wins at like 30, 35 minutes. Team Spirit also kind of sits in that camp as well. They enjoy going late game. They like dragging games out to hit, you know, a real heavy pace.
I think the complicated thing about this game is that both teams kind of want to go late, but Team Spirit are going to be in a pickle because you're going to eventually have to push high ground into what's going to be a Mars jumping you, Sniper defending, possible Phoenix ulti dropped as well. They have pretty good high ground defense, and the late game of Vici is very, very strong. So you look towards Team Spirit and see what do they have to push high ground. It's literally just SF.
It's SF.
It's SF. And that's your carry, so he would have to show himself. Basically, what I'm getting at, they rely on getting Aegis. They rely on him getting that timing if they ever want to crack high ground, because their building push is pretty underwhelming, unless we see, of course, Tiny pivot into some sort of right-click build, but 9 times out of 10, mid-tinies, they're going to be spellcasty, focus, you know, maybe some BKB, maybe a Shadow Blade, but very rarely any form of real attack build.
Yeah, or you get into that nitty-gritty buyback status, team fight outside of the base, or a toss back, you know, the little details definitely can work, but overall, yeah, you're right, it's just SF has to kind of bully his way up to high ground. 20 minutes in, though. Team Spirit readying themselves at the Tormentor, and Vici Gaming not going to let this one go without a fight. Dire observed by the Lotus Pool, but a smoke from Vici Gaming gets them in position.
Team Spirit in a pretty good spot.
Bach smoke breaks. Vision is there. Laurel gets the avalanche toss. Sunray onto Bach, keeps him alive though, and it's Arena on Laurel. Serpentwolf's on the left, the Pango's dropped. Song comes too late, but maybe they can still play into this one. Supernova lands, Serpentwolf's still here. Panto and Yatoro move on forward. Requiem, Fear pushes them back. Team Spirit though, down a Pango, have to retreat. Panto's in trouble, and Yatoro, well, he's in the Shadow Blade. Away from any kind of reveal and will disengage, but now Vici Gaming, that's their Tormentor.
That was really impressive reaction coming out from Vici. I thought they would flunder with the Mars getting caught there, and Pango just didn't have a chance to get his ulti going before the quick jump from Planet. Planet, I say jump, he basically just ran in and found him there. Of course, Sven leading the way and then the follow-up, but the no boots Rasta getting in and holding the Pango in place.
So it looks like Spirit have this advantage from the high ground. Division, the team fight starts, but you're right.
Yeah,
this arena, this split.
Shiro with a quick stun. Indeed, he was the first one there.
They do have a snipe on XM, but he's not quite finished off. That Sunray actually nearly kept him alive. Luckily for Spirit, Laurel does come in to finish the job.
Well, pretty unexpected for Vici that they would just bounce back into the same area on Team Spirit. Usually when you lose the Tormentor, you kind of gravitate away from that area, you go and farm, you know, safe part of the map, so XM probably got caught by surprise by this. He does have the Hurricane Pike on XM, and he's queuing up the Aghanim Scepter to get more quick disables, so they can maybe set up stun or even follow up stun for his team. He's not trying to be like a hard carry necessarily on Sniper. This is going to be more of a utility build. Would even like to see him get a shard for himself after the Aghanim Scepter. The shard on Sniper, I rate it as one of the absolute strongest shards in the game. It's so good. 10-second cooldown is very, very low, and all the stuff it does is so nice. It even has a mini stun in case you don't have ulti and someone's TPing out. You can always use that.
Yeah, disengage, reposition. Does tons. Nice little tool to enter his kit.
Bach with the BKB can go first.
Tumble, blink, dust. Shiro, he sees the hoodwink. Hex on the Tiny to make sure there's no toss. And that allows the Sven to get BKB off. Arena will trap them inside and block Team Spirit away. Another decisive move from Vici Gaming. Gets them involved and moves them to an objective.
And straight towards that Roche. Well, the ulti and the Rasta wards is falling pretty fast, and no signs of contesting this one, really. Naga Song isn't even available. She can scout it with the illusions, but she is not going to be there to steal it.
A very clear direction from Vici so far. And you were saying how it could be difficult for Spirit to navigate the high ground pushes if they ever find themselves in that position, whereas Vici Gaming much easier with this Sniper Sven to get up there.
I do think so, yeah. They also have the Rasta wards, so if they ever want to push the high ground, I think they have multiple different ways to deal damage, and it's not all hinging on one single person being the one to deal the building damage.
Like no committal, low committal, high committal. They've got like a range of options.
Exactly. Yeah, Sven can go if it looks clear and they want to really bring the damage, he can hop on.
And do you want our budget package or the executive one?
The premium Sven ulti package.
Exactly.
We do have the entire Silver Edge already complete on SF. I think part why he didn't go Blink Dagger in this game is because Sniper can cancel Blink from really far away. Phoenix ulti can cancel your Blink quite easily as well. Because otherwise I do like the Kayasha. Oh, he's going for an ulti on the TP through. Wow. Okay, he caught the Phoenix, but he might get punished for it.
Yeah, with no Silver Edge for 10 seconds. Laurel's going to come and stop the Sven, but Bach is here. Song to reset. Yatoro and Rue looking at a turnaround, in fact. Dangerous territory still, though, with Vici Gaming approaching. Nagasaran, Hex Dub, Glimmer to run away, Rolling Thunder to cause some chaos, but Shiro with a quick BKB. Make sure he doesn't get clipped by the roll. Laurel is into the back on the Shadow Shaman, BKB Tiny clears out Planet. Collapse trying to roll back in onto Sven, but the damage is substantial, and with Sniper coming in, Collapse, he's got a shield crash to high ground, Swashbuckle on cooldown, Team Spirit holding the staircase and forcing Vici back. Poking back and forth, Vici Gaming down to supports in a 3v5, don't want to continue.
Yeah, because they don't have supports nearby there. They are respecting the Silver Edge, just backing out, not going up that high ground. Would have been a fatal mistake to chase after Team Spirit. But they stay pretty disciplined, and Team Spirit, they bail out the Shadow Fiend, the important part of that.
And that started with a Requiem on the Twin Gate, killing Phoenix.
Yeah, he saw the gate being activated, and he timed his ulti perfectly. He got the Phoenix when it came through. He didn't know who was coming through, but it didn't matter. Presents are presents in the eyes of their birthday boy.
They sure are. Just get handed a gift. Just rip it open. Who cares about the wrapping paper?
Imagine if he got a Sven coming through and just gets the ulti on him. Could have been an easy takedown on the Aegis as well. Still, both teams kind of playing the top area as SF6 sticks around.
Okay. Have a listen in as well.
У меня Сильвер есть. Парни, можем сейчас мапу чуть поиграть? Им пиздец тяжело будет против нас. У нас травела, парни, Сильвер, 2 зацепа.
It sounds like they want to try and play wide map as possible, catch any straggling targets, because they have all this maneuverability.
Yeah, that's very nice. I completely understand why making that call when they have the travels and Silver Edge. It's difficult to cover the entire map with sentries. Oh, the Glimmer.
Oh.
Nice juke there coming out from Rue as well.
Little rat.
The Zig and the Zag.
Serpent was down on the tier 2. The budget package, low committal push. Barker will come in and add a little bit of help.
Oh, there's the premium.
They've upgraded.
Rasta Ward, Sniper hitting, Sven hitting. That's the full package right there.
They joined the loyalty program. Free upgrade.
If you want to push high ground, you need to subscribe to our services.
Well, Sven clears out enemy ancients. Well, Shadow Fiend and Pango going to dip from this bottom right-hand corner. Rejoin with a Tiny and Naga up top. It still has been a bit of a challenge for Spirit to get a good grasp on the map. And get some traction here, because Vici Gaming have been matching and meeting with the 5v5 every time Spirit have made a move forward.
Yeah, but they are contesting the top part of the map a lot. They really want to try and get this tier 1 tower. But again, the problem being that they don't have easy building hitting. They don't have a low committal way of taking towers, like we talked about. We meme a little bit about Vici and their different levels of taking tower. But it's really true that Team Spirit, they had 3 heroes here. They all watched the tower a little bit, but they can't do anything to it.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of this is now resting on Collapse and Rue. The Hoodwink, you know, notoriously good at scouting people out, hiding the trees, looking for things, getting vision. So these 2 Dire Observer wards that keep the vision in the lane, very important for Spirit here, so they can then use the boosted travel. They can use this Song, the Silver Edge, to set up a fight.
Yeah, they're gonna dip out from the top area now finally. Team Spirit setting up down bottom. Yatoro is spending quite a bit of time looking around for anyone he can find for kills, but needs to keep pace with farm as well, as the Sven has overtaken him right now. Going for a Daedalus, and his DPS will be crazy.
Actually, Vici Gaming, there's no individual targets to be had. They're playing like a friggin' Portuguese man-o' war. They're not one big jellyfish. They're a bunch of little individual organisms all in a symbiotic relationship, holding hands and playing together and being very dangerous while they do so. Team Spirit needs some way to cut them in pieces.
I have heard that you win together or lose together in Dota, so you know. And slay together, apparently.
Oh, and Team Spirit, they don't get the jump on Shiro. He's got quick fingers.
They have some nice vision to play to wards, though. They see heroes under wards. Rasta showing himself. They know he's in the tree line.
The re-smoke. The vision. Yatoro gives vision for Lal to jump.
Hex.
The immediate hex. Sunray and the damage on Tiny blows him up. Yatoro's Requiem does very little. BKB still going here so they can focus the SF. The Song comes in time. Sven is stopped in his tracks. Collapse rolling back in while Bach, he finds the opening on Yatoro. Blows up the SF. Shiro looked like he was in trouble for a moment there, but the roll back up and the disengage now from Team Spirit. They'll lose out Rue and TP from Collapse. And he stuns coming. No, barely. Gets home as the spear goes straight through where his body used to be.
God damn, Bach showing no mercy. Gets the blink after there. Nice song reset at first, but it wasn't enough to save the SF as the Mars also got time for his blink to reset. Chases after, throws the arena and catches the birthday boy. Happy birthday to the ground, Gareth.
Did Bach just get like 2 levels from killing SF?
He solo killed him.
4,000 experience?
Yeah. I mean, it was solo kill.
Incredible.
Well, solo kill on a low HP SF, I should say. He was not at his best conditions, let's say, when that started.
A little bit down and dejected.
Nicely caught there. And we see the teamfight power that Vici have. It's not easy if you don't get a perfect jump. And that's, unfortunately, Tiny didn't BKB before jumping in, right? He didn't BKB, he blinked in, got the stun, didn't get the toss back because he got hexed immediately. Quick fingers coming out by Planet, who has been on point with the Rasta.
So fast. And the more maneuverability Vici Gaming add, the harder it gets for Team Spirit to pull off team fights. Like Blink Dagger on Sniper on top of this Shard and Hurricane Pike, because he doesn't have the Shard yet, but when he does have it, they'll have so many ways to disengage.
Yeah, he's going for the super survivable Sniper. This is how XM usually plays Sniper, and I actually love this playstyle. It is low DPS in general, but by staying alive, you will do a lot of damage. Problem is, if you buy a bunch of damage, you'll be super easy to kill. This build is a tricky case to solve.
A smoke.
Wrapping behind.
Answer as Spirit coming towards the Torm.
Torm will be theirs at least.
We'll claim it. Stick around in the glorious green. Collapse is going to roll up and give vision, but the Sunray Supernova already in play. Back BKB'd, Planet is slain. Laurel on the run as Nagasarn comes in with a song, but the turn and focus onto the Tiny now. Stuck in the arena. Requiem wound up. Yatoro trying to fear the back. Refresh up from Bach as Laurel falls, and XM just sat on the sidelines peeping away as SF is cleared out. Shiro with a double kill. XM being focused by Collapse. He's not got too much in the way of backup. The reel in forces Sven back towards the Naga, while Collapse is still a dangerous fella.
Could die still.
This Pangolier, he's got a lot of damage with this Aghanim Scepter. He goes back in. Panto's died, but the Sven, can he stand his ground and battle? When the Fire Spirit's going, the Pango picks up a double. Collapse is going wild. One more to do the job, and a team wipe.
What a fight. Collapse ends up being the be-all, end-all at the end of a long, scrappy fight. When the ulti is out for Sven, he does not win a man fight against Pango with this lucky shot procs. 160 attack speed reduction.
11,000 damage. 9 heroes die.
What's it? Yeah. I mean, that's a whole lot there. Yeah,
6,000 damage.
6,000 damage. The experience
I got a bit excited.
I mean, he did get 11,000 EXP though. That's something to hype. He's level 24, Gareth. Yeah, we see the jump. The initial roll-through was insane, but Rasta traps the SF in ward traps. So he got the kill on the Rasta, but then SF has to run away, disengage, and they basically didn't connect all at the same time initially. But there was a really clutch moment here. Refresher was used by Mars, but BKB didn't have time to come out before the SF ulti. So while SF didn't really get to dominate that fight, killing off the Rasta and then getting a fear that killed off the Mars, I think the first 2 pickoffs were basically thanks to Yatoro.
Oh, it's just insane that Team Spirit find his angle. And Collapse, yeah, keeps getting shielded up. Panto sacrifices himself to keep the Pango going. Pango and Panto pairing up beautifully.
Yeah, back in live we had Roche taken down. Aegis over on Yatoro. Cinema.
Oh, cool as ice. A wry smile from Collapse.
He waits until he's done, you know. When everyone is dead, that's when you allow yourself to. Okay, I can smile now.
Any more threats detected? No?
Yeah.
I can relax.
He did well. He's playing really great on the Pangolier. Fun to see, you know, these off-meta heroes coming out from Team Spirit. The Naga Siren has worked out really well. The Pango has been really good as well. So some clever drafting coming out at the same time. Vici still ahead in gold. In definitive terms, they are ahead, but there's that Aegis advantage. We'll see how much Team Spirit can make happen with it.
This Pango is scaling really quickly. Yeah. Ags Octarine into the Basher. He gets a nasty amount of damage.
And he took the attack damage as swashbuckle damage talent, so that's gonna make his Q all that much stronger. And he has Aghanim Scepter, which of course procs even more when he spams the W. He can do a serious amount of damage, and I think he's making the right choice by going for a Basher next. He doesn't necessarily need to go all in crazy that, oh, I'm gonna be a damage dealer, but we saw how he can win against the Sven in man fight when Sven doesn't have ulti. Give him a Basher, he might be able to man-fight him even when Sven does have ulti, because if you just bash proc him non-stop, you'll be pretty fine. There we go. He's pretty thick, that boy.
Bonjour.
Level 25, yeah.
Je suis Pangolier. Comment ça va, mes amis?
Oh, oui, oui.
What's happy birthday in French? Bon anniversaire.
That's
the one. That sounds right.
yeah. That's
what he's saying to Yatoro. Absolutely, yep. And Y out on the map, looking to get some deep wards down, looking to cover this area at enemy Ancients. He's about to be spotted by Rue and Larl, so he's going to tuck himself in the trees, but the Tinies made the jump.
Oh, pops the ulti. This is probably not going to go down. They have really slow attacks, Tiny and Hoodwink.
They can't touch the egg. It's being protected.
Oh no.
And he gets to low ground. Oh, the bash. Collapse stops the TP. Unfortunate for Y.
The Basher already worth its gold. Yeah, it's kind of unfortunate when the egg comes down and you realize that you have two of the slowest base attack time heroes in the game. It's like, yeah, I'm a Tiny, I'm a Hoodwink. Don't worry, we'll kill the egg. Need the SF to be around for that one.
Well, Yatoro with his Daedalus now. An absolute monster in terms of damage output.
I really like this itemization. The BKB, Kayayasha, Silver Edge, and Daedalus. It basically has everything you need. Just needs the Satanic next for sustainability and lifesteal. But his damage is insane. Survivability is pretty damn good too.
Is this one of those games where we just very highly rate the initial jump? Like, vision into jump seems very strong.
The first jump is very important, at least how it goes. But it depends who they go on, right? We can see it backfire a whole lot. If you find Naga, it's really big for Vici.
Like Naga and Phoenix, the two big teamfight supports, very easy to kill.
Yeah, I might even rate finding Shadow Shaman even higher.
Oh, really?
If you get a clean take on the Shadow Shaman, yeah. Because Phoenix ulti, it is disruptive, it's annoying. But I think Rasta with Blink and Aetherlands, if he goes unchecked, he can have some very, very disruptive impact. I like the Vladimirs as well coming out from Y. He's like, you know what? I got 2 auto attack cores, basically 3 with a Mars.
Eyeing up this middle lane. Collapse is sat behind Yatoro. In fact, the entire team is. But Vici Gaming are readying themselves. If they see anything on these 2 observer wards, Shiro and Planet are ready to make that immediate jump.
Yeah.
Aegis is expiring in 30 seconds, so Spirit realizing they don't get anything in that little window, trying to exploit the last remaining moments of that double life SF, and then go back to farming their next item.
Yeah, get the Spell Amp on his tier 4 neutral. The Idol of Skriok is a funny one as well. Phased movement and slow resistance. I mean, you can't slow the Tiny at all. He's just gonna come running. For now, a little bit of calm. Sven having his full Satanic and Daedalus, going for a Swift Blink next. He's gonna get pretty mobile once he gets a Swift Blink. Because that's been one of his problems for now, is he's been kited pretty well. And getting Swift Blink gives you that extra bit of movement speed on the jump.
XM, make sure Lal doesn't get his hands on that shield rune. Don't want to be dealing with a like 10k HP Tiny. Vici Gaming just looking to sit at their observer boards, kind of expecting Team Spirit to be playing forward in a dead even game where there's nothing in it net worth-wise, and 18 kills to 18.
I think Vici just want to keep dragging it out. Like we mentioned very early in the game, we think that they have a very nice late game. Net worth being completely even, I would still say that Vici are happy to drag it out even further. Whereas Team Spirit, they're going to make a power play. It's just a few minutes or like 1 minute away perhaps, depending on the GPM, as Yatoro needs 1,000 gold for a Satanic. I think once he has that, he gets done in man fight. Right now, it's a little bit scary to go into a fight, and if you get locked in place, sniper starts shooting you, and you don't have Aegis, don't have a Satanic, you're just gonna fall.
Yeah, I mean, Team Spirit have always been one of the best teams in these mid to late game or even just late game team fights, where they're able to find some kind of positional advantage and then kite things out, right? They poke for BKBs, poke for spells, reset, fall back, go for the second round of fighting. But when Vici Gaming have Sniper, Mars, Phoenix, these heroes that can actually gap close on you and keep chasing, it's not as easy to just reset Naga Song, say, okay, back up and go again.
Yeah, a lot of times when we cast at this stage of the game, I sit here and I say how a team needs to come back and what they need to do. Honestly, Team Spirit, they are the masters at this, so I'm kind of not leading or saying what I think they should do. I'm seeing this as an instructional moment for myself and everyone. Just pay attention. Pay attention to what Team Spirit are doing, because they're really, really good in these spots. You can see the lines being drawn. Yatoro is saying that, okay, want to cut through on top. They're showing the Tiny only. That could just be a Tiny split pushing, but they're all in the area. I think we might see... Do they have a smoke right now? They do have a smoke on Naga. She's got the Blink Aeon discs too, so catching Naga is not going to be valid. Naga is split pushing mid with her illusions as well, so this is a hard smoke to see coming.
Shiro. Oh,
he committed his blink.
Dangerous.
Can they get the stun on him?
They're going to roll up with Collapse. Larl starts. They get the stuns. Chain disabled. Requiem comes, but Shiro gets the BKB God Strength off. Still being clicked by the SF. He's on the run. In comes the Mars, but he's collapsed on by this Pango. Couldn't get the arena off in time, so Yatoro, the birthday boy, gets a double kill. Song of the Siren now to find new targets. Collapse and Yatoro on the Phoenix. Why in trouble? A triple for Yatoro. Look for the Ultra. It's there for him as well. One more. All he needs, one more. But the Shadow Shaman, he won't be giving that gift to him today.
That's why they're the GOATs, Gareth. That's why I don't say anything, right? I just let Team Spirit show you the beauty of how they solved this difficult situation. Yeah, Pango. The Pango. That was a really nice jump. The Tiny getting in there. Even though they didn't really get the chain stun combination, the BKB was out from the Sven. It did not matter. They held him long enough. The SF has crazy damage output, like we mentioned earlier, with the Daedalus build. And now everyone is dead for so long. There's no buyback.
We're 2 grand for the SF, a 6k swing. They're on high ground with double catapults coming in. And Pango is going to go hunting and fishing in the back as well. There are no buybacks here for Vici Gaming, so it's Shadow Shaman against the world for the better part of 30 seconds.
It's going to be at least 2 lanes is what it's looking like. And Tiny is even starting on bottom. Look at Laurel. He recognizes that, you know what, we might turn this into even more. He's going to open up the bottom lane, so it's an option for him to keep pushing.
They're just so good at this, finding their moments. Yes, it's difficult for them to push high ground, but if they kill 4 heroes, it makes it that much simpler.
The game was dead even.
Yeah.
Like a minute ago, it
nothing
feels
in
like.
it. Literally nothing in it.
Yeah, just one and a half minute ago, it was dead even. Now it's 15,000 gold lead. They win an absolutely monumental fight, take everything and give them nothing.
14k lead, double damage rune going to be bottled by Yatoro.
It's a nice one too. He's got the level 25 talent. The Shadow Races do a ton of damage now. They could even get the Daedalus procs in there, you know.
I don't mind if Yatoro swaggers the way he's played this game.
A casual 1200 damage from the Shadow Race. And that's the physical part only. It's the magical part too.
Mars refresher on cooldown for about a minute. Now he's got this Scythe of Vice, but he won't have the double round of spells, which Vici Gaming do rely on.
So how do Vici solve this? It's really tricky. You can't go on the Naga first because of the Aeon disc. She's gonna survive.
Lol. He smoke breaks, but they've not figured out where he is.
He's so sneaky. Feeling confident to just sit there. He knew that Naga will blink and save him if they go on him, right? He's probably gonna be fine.
He's just a tree. Wagga.
That's true. I mean, he does blend with the environment, Gareth.
He's got a better ghillie suit than the sniper does.
The perfect camouflage.
Vici Gaming smoked.
Yeah, they're trying to make a wraparound. They don't have a refresher on Mars yet. He's gonna break his smoke.
Panto in position.
And he freezes like a doe. It's like, oh.
Deer in headlights.
Yeah.
Panto sends illusions and sees Planet now. The jump from Law is immediate on the Shadow Shaman, looking to blow him up. Taken out of the game as Bar comes in with an Arena, wanting the Hoodwink, but the Song of the Siren zones the supports out while Yatoro goes mano a mano with his Sven.
Oh.
Oh, down you go! Shiro sent to the deck. Bark with another arena. BKB TP. Get the hell out of here, boys. We're cooked. A supernova sunrays come, but GG's call. We knew that was on its way as Team Spirit take game 1.
They make it look so easy. These combos are not trivial. Throwing the Naga song into a perfectly timed SF ulti with Kayayasha, with Naga canceling the ulti early. These are not trivial combos to make happen, but they were, yeah. There's a
Okay.
buff. There's a birthday buff.
The birthday buff. Let's see if it's at play here as well with Team Spirit and Vici.
Here we go, game 2 underway. Team Spirit 1 to the good in this best of 3 in the upper bracket at PGL Wallachia, as we'll figure out exactly how good this Shadowfiend hero is, because he's been one of the most contested so far, and Vici Gaming is saying, well, Yatoro, one of the best carriers in the world, can have it 2 games in a row.
Yeah, this is game number 90 in the Wallachia Season 7, and 88 times he has been contested. Out of that, he's been played 24 times. This is game number 25. We'll see if he can make that a win. Obviously, SF looking pretty phenomenal, but I do want to highlight, I think Vici Gaming got a very nice last pick into this game. The Dragon Knight was a snap pick. They didn't think about it for too long. They basically picked it within 20 seconds of seeing the puck, and they're like, yep, this will counter the puck. It also fits really well into their own draft. They have a lot of big teamfight ultis. Dragon Knight adds pushing potential, and he's a high armor hero that doesn't get completely destroyed by SF right clicks immediately.
That's true. Well, Vici going to fight on the big old sticker that's placed down in the river there. Well, one at the bottom where it says crit. I don't know what the rest of it says. But it's got Yatoro as a phantom assassin, right? It's a PA.
Yeah, it's damage, I guess. I'm not sure if it's a reference to something.
Oh, it's landing crits. Yeah, I don't know what the translation is. I have to look at that later on. But there we go. XM against Laurel. Ember Spirit versus Puck. 2 of the best mid lane heroes in this meta. Lots of elusive spells, lots of damage over time. Mid lane matchup between these two, not amazing for Puck, but Gunnar was saying that in the game overall, Laurel should have a pretty free time.
He should, but it's always concerning when you play against Ember and you pick a hero that he basically counters in laning stage, as Ember is already the most dominant mid hero in my opinion this patch, so you don't want to give him any better game that he already will have. Up top, by the way, good start for Team Spirit. First creep wave, they zoned out the Mars immediately. Standing before the creeps arrived and touched, they triple raised the Mars, forcing him to go back a little bit and heal.
And Panto on the Hoodwink. Doing a few of these little swap arounds. We were trying to figure out at the end of that draft what direction they were going to go in. I end up putting Rue on the Tiny, Laurel on this Puck, swapping things around that way, because there was that consideration of like a Huskar versus the Ember Spirit, some other options to go down. But in the end, it's double range top lane, and then double melee bottom.
Yeah, I think the reasoning is that Hoodwink normally wants to win the 1v1 harass trade, and you can't really do that against Warlock anyway, so might as well put the Tiny here and get a chance for toss back into chain stunning. And meanwhile, up top, the Hoodwink will trade better against the Ringmaster than the Tiny would.
Like, Hoodwink wants to whittle you down, right? And Shadow Word says that's not happening.
Yeah.
Whereas Tiny can toss back into tower, into creeps, and Slaughter's Crush. Much more burst potential.
It's also armor. Dragon Knight does not care about Hoodwink's damage.
Yes.
Last game we had the abuse of Hoodwink minus armor, or damage with the minus armor of the Pango, dealing a lot of damage to a low armor Phoenix. Now there's a Dragon Knight on that safe lane, so yeah, play away from that, play into the Ringmaster instead.
XM doing very well in this mid lane, doubling up the last hits of Laurel, 15-2 against the 8-0. Having a very good time so far.
This is to be expected though on this lane. It is going to go the way of Ember. You can get decent game going for the Puck, but you're not going to win against Ember mid.
Planet and Bark up top. Lane going to be pushed into them. Shadowfiend just naturally shoves out that wave. And they do have access to both of their camps when they spawn, so Panto should be able to reset equilibrium.
Yeah, hard for Planet to go up and body block any of that. Meanwhile, down bottom, the Dragon Knight is doing a good job just standing his ground. Basically unharassable, I think, for these two. Nice bind onto everything there.
Well, Fatal Bonds are always annoying as well. Tag you up and keep you low HP. Force you to burn through a lot of that early lane regen.
It's very hard for the Stardart to keep his HP up high. He has one bracer, but out of tangles, needs to send out more. We can see it in his quick buy already.
Yeah, not comfortable.
He does have a salve on the courier right now and a bracer coming in, so we'll use the salve and get pretty full.
Rue with a toss back on the tower though, even with collapse very low, they're committing for this. Tower damage is good on Shiro, but Y gets first blood. A trade like that, who actually wins?
Oh, I think it's an unexpected kill for Team Spirit to get, so it's nice for them that they get something in that lane. But getting the first blood plus the Warlock book charge, I would still say it's a win over on the side of Vici, right? Because first blood is a big advantage, and book charge, the Golem, or the Warlock is going to be having a very good time this game.
The Grimoire grows. Planet starting to stack up in the Ancients area.
It's also
those come with a sentry to block it.
Going to be early mana boots for him because he has boots and Ring of Bassi already. So plenty of resources for the Warlock to work with.
Cool Karamord. And Shiro going to be a little bit upset dying there. This is meant to be a straightforward, easy breezy lane.
Yeah,
Now he's died and the lane's going to get dragged around by Rue.
Can't be entirely careless. The chain stun under tower does hurt a lot. Ultimately, the puck is still getting decent farm on mid lane. As mentioned before, the Ember is farming a lot.
Push back into Raze. Taming the beast there. Keeps Yatoro back. Pretty low on mana on the SF, but he's holding Lotus 11-1, so there is that chance just to pop a bunch of mana burst regen. Keep things going.
Yeah, he's ready to deal a lot of damage. They're trying to stack up camps as well and use the jungle to accelerate. Actually get a stack on the big and the small camp. Hard to contest this as a spear is on cooldown. I think SF is just going to get the farm here. Maybe Planet can steal it. Nice whip.
Even making sure small camp doesn't get pulled easily by Panto. And Hoodwink stepping up. That's a scary spot to be in, even though you can scurry into the trees. MOUZ and Ringmaster can offer a lot of that immediate damage. And with Yatoro alongside, they'll be able to grab up the wave, clear the camp, and make sure the pull is halted.
That's very nice. Vici managed to secure all the big camp creeps. Not easy to do. This collapse takes quite a beating from Shiro, plus the heal coming in, or the Shadow Word coming in.
It's pretty relentless. We're in the 6th minute, so that active rune is approaching pretty quickly. We've seen a lot of teams' approach to this is to send 4 heroes mid, basically, even carries TPing in to react. Ember Spirit has zipped down to the bottom rune spot.
But he sipped a bit early.
He didn't grab the rune, and now the coil snap with a toss.
Uncharacteristic mistake from XM there. Yeah, he didn't grab the regen, so Planet is like, okay, I guess I'll take it, but his mid laner is gonna fall to the coil combo.
How bizarre. Very unfortunate. And collapse in the meantime. Every time we do look at this bottom lane, very low HP and forced away from his tower. Fatal Bomb's very irritating, and Shiro now, of course, level 3 in...
He is healing up in time, though. So Slaughter is healing up. 7 minutes is coming around soon. He's going to be able to TP down there. It's a possibility they will protect this, as there was Warlock and Dragon Knight thinking about invading. Ember, of course, is busy with other stuff.
Yeah, farm through the stacks Planet was making. But yeah, level 3 in Worm's Wrath, the damage over time with all Warlock spells is pretty nasty when you don't have any regen. Right, Slardar's not this kind of guy that goes for the Tranquil Boots manipulation. He's going to get stunned up and whipped by the Ringmaster. Rue with an avalanche and a potential toss. SF Requiem, there's the play with the DK dying. Beautiful execution out of Spirit once again, showing this SF has so many combos.
Yeah, nice toss onto him there, and that's going to be a quick connection. Yatoro immediately going back towards the gate, wanting to head up back top. Gonna get bothered a little bit. A whip is probably going to cancel his gate. He actually walks out of the whip.
Well, he's down to half health, but he will return to that top lane.
He's got plenty of stuff. He'll be completely fine. Pops the 20 magic stick, still has Fair Fire and Healing Lotus too.
So that's a couple of deaths on Shiro. He should have had a completely free lane, but he's, what, 4th in net worth? 0, 2, and 1. Definitely not where he would like to be. Whereas on the flip side, Shadow Fiend closing in on 4K net worth. Racing away with things.
I think these connections as well, these early moves by carries to the side lane or from the mid lane, how you connect to the side lane, is basically what signifies the great teams right now.
8-minute rune, again being guarded here. Y and Planet, the toss back and kill on the Ringmaster, and Rue, well, they need another Remnant forward, but XM can't quite connect on the Tiny. Needs another one to gap close and finally finish the job.
Gets the kill. This is what Ember needs. Get some kills under his belt. That earlier death definitely set him back a little bit, so gonna be nice for him to have his supports to fight on the rune with. But no, as I was saying, we've seen some moves where carries try and join on side lane and don't get a kill.
Yeah.
If you invest a lot of time, it can be really, really bad. But that's where this idea of Tiny and SF, you can just throw something onto him, throw an ulti, you know. Spirit, they make it very natural, these little combinations.
They sure do. Vici Gaming wanted to try and break out of the little rut they're in. Spirit have been the ones feeling a bit more comfortable with the pace of play. But Collapse, very far behind his own tower, and the Dire Scan connecting means Spirit know exactly what's going on. Panto will come, face tank with his hero to scout them out. Fatally bonded to the creep camp and zipped on by XM. Nice simple kill for them, and probably going to be able to clear out the jungle too.
Yeah, they can golem farm this if they want to. He's holding it for now, looking for maybe catching Puck.
Now he drops it. Make sure Laurel can't contest.
There's Ancient Stack and there are towers to take as well, so we'll see where he sends. It's going to be towards the tower first.
Well, with all this focus bottom lane, you know, there's options for Spirit. Do we bring numbers down bottom to defend, or do we play up top to get a kill on Bach? The latter is the option they go for, while Collapse is left a little alone down here. Between an Ember and a Golem, he's going to get changed up. Found by XM in the tree line. Collapse, not the easiest kill though, with double bracer plus treads.
He's going to be fine, but he's definitely not having an easy time this game. Collapse, his Blink Dagger is going to be quite delayed. We can see it was the same combo again. It was a stun into toss and SF ulti. Rinse and repeat.
It looks like this time the rune should go to Laurel, but before that he'll snipe out Planet thanks to Rune. XM had got his hands on a bunch of these early runes, but Laurel with a DD is an absolute threat on the map now.
Certainly is. Already has the Blitz Knuckles as well, going for the Witchblade, of course. Get some DPS going, and SF, no surprise, going for Mask of Madness, wants to get some nice farm. I mean, it's a little bit of a surprise. We've seen the Kayasha straight. This game looks like he's going for Manta style instead of the Kayasha, respecting that there's a lot of stuff he wants to dispel. Between the Fatal Bonds, of course, the Searing Chains, but even just something as simple as the Impalement Arts. And when you get jumped by Dragon Knight, maybe you can, you know, dodge the Dragon Tail stun or at least confuse him.
Yeah, we've seen that a couple of times.
Yeah, misclick on illusion, yeah.
Yatoro, with his top tier 1 still very healthy, knows that there is unlikely to be any big invasions into this part of the map, you know, compared to the last game where Vici Gaming were able to come and hunt him down a couple of times. Taking that offlane tower doesn't really mean that much for Collapse. You know, Slardar's still happy and flourishing in that bottom lane.
Yeah, he's at least getting given some space now. I think both the offlaners are in a bit of a recovery mode, as they are at the bottom of the net worth, where they should be, I will say. As a mid and carry enjoyer, yeah. Well, bottom of the course, I should say.
Panto going to scurry into the trees, get away from XM's Ember Spirit. As Vici Gaming do bring numbers up top to try and break open this part of the map. We're already, you know, 11 minutes in, we're already thinking ahead into the future of 16, 17 minutes. Roshan, Tormentor, you want this top left corner to belong to Vici Gaming.
Tiny wants to toss onto SF again. They want to do the same combo a third time.
And they found an opening. There's the Arena, toss into the air. Warlock's blown up immediately. Arena Spear does catch Panto. Rue is dropping low, but Yatoro, Laurel hold the line. Panto finished off by XM in the back.
The DD rune.
Yeah, keeps poking with these orbs. The DD rune on Laurel, difficult to deal with here by Vici Gaming.
SF completely fine under a tower, and that will stop the push. No coil available anymore. Puck might be able to jump onto the Ringmaster.
Yeah, Planet left wide open here. Gets out the Funhouse Mirror. XM helps protect the retreat, and Collapse, well, Slardar's come in. Wants a bite of this, but it doesn't really have that initiation tool just yet. 300 gold until Slardar has Blink.
He came a long way to watch them die, but he didn't get to see it, unfortunately. He booked tickets and everything. He's going to have to make it back down bottom. 300 gold to his Blink Dagger. Maybe then he can be successful in finding people, setting up. He's mostly going to play as the enabler in this team. Not really the damage source, but Puck and SF can definitely shred through people if he can hold them in place.
Well, he got to watch them walk away, and Dragon Knight walking away is a beautiful sight.
Dragon Knight might walk into a horrible sight as there's a Tiny and SF nearby.
Hello, Avalanche catches him, toggles the armlet on, but there's toss into Requiem. Massive damage from the Razes. Shiro's cleared out by Team Spirit again, finding these openings.
I mean, that's just textbook, right? That literally looked like a video example of, oh, you can use this combo like this. It's like, yep. Yeah, that's gonna kill the Dragon Knights.
They do make a jump in the mid lane. Wheel of Wonder hypnotizes the Hoodwink. Shadow Fiend's coming in though, and the coil on XM ending. Ember Spirit has remnants, he's fine. Zips away in time.
But they're making a good point on Team Spirit of defending these tier 1s, not giving them away for free. Even the top tower being poked by Bach, we see Rue coming up and just saying, no, no, no. Don't get to take the tower for free. Slowing down the advances of Vici, because when you're playing Warlock and Dragon Knight, you expect to take a lot of towers early. We're 14 minutes in, and yeah, they cracked one tower, but the other two are relatively healthy for what I would have expected at this pace of the game, or point of the game.
Yeah, it can be a little bit of a problem during this period as well, relying on this MOUZ and Ringmaster to do a lot of the heavy lifting. Ember Spirit, along with those two, the majority of their ganking power, while DK wants to be farming stacks. Rue looking to steal the Wisdom Shrine. He's going to get surrounded here. Bark and Planet came in time, but he's got a toss TP.
Yeah, they used both their disables.
Oopsie-daisy. And then collapse. He's onto the Warlock. Should be a solo kill here as Y gets pummeled by the Slardar.
Slardar doesn't run out of disables, just keep pummeling away at that poor Warlock. And the Vision does see the Ember. But Ember also saw the Hoodwink, still sees him, so not going to be able to catch him.
Finally, they cracked that tier 1 top.
A good tower take for them.
Oh, Lola Panto in a very good spot here.
And we see
the
them
fact they
grouping. It's like fighting duos. Look,
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
we have the same thing. The groupings here. It's like in the military, they tell you you have your battle partner, the Tiny and the SF. That's the pairing.
And that's the thing. Like Vici Gaming need to bring the whole battalion. It feels like they need these trios or even the quartet to actually do anything.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree. They are very strong in team fight scenarios. They have, like we mentioned early, 3 big team fight ultis, and they want to utilize the Dragon Knight during these. But when it's just scrappy fights all over the map, it's a little bit harder for them to react to it. Warlock, of course, easy to get caught out, like we saw with Slaughter earlier.
And every kill the Spirit gets, it's not just a little kill. It's the map space they get after. It's the 5 jungle camps they get in addition to the farm they're getting on the lane. That's pushed the Shadow Fiend up to 9,000 net worth, while DK sat at 7.
I always like mentioning, just for oh, I'm not gonna be able to connect. I think
Get there in time.
I always like mentioning which team I think is favored, going late game. So
Still going though.
Warlock is walking back into
him. They wanted to get the D ward. Yes, you kill the Observer, but Yatro gets another kill to add to his tally.
He's just building up 4 kills now. SF feeling pretty good about himself, of course, growing more and more of the Necro stacks.
Another gift for the birthday boy.
Yeah, that's why they're doing the combo, so he can ship him some fast food. That's so nice of him.
Express delivery.
Tumblr's toy, get some mobility.
Manta style at the same time. And Dragon Knight has Armlet Mask of Madness, pretty good for farming, getting a bit of tempo going, but
Ember
pre-BKB still feels a little sad.
Ember not gonna run into Tiny, walking around him actually, as Tiny stays in the trees where it's safe. Planet might see him, but not yet. And yeah, finally, the Observer on the lane will reveal that Radiant are indeed playing top, so they're going to be completely fine. I was trying to make a point earlier, but it's always good to think about which team is favored going late. And here, I think it's a pretty clear favorite that Dire is scaling really, really well. The SF is going to get very strong. Puck scales incredible into late game, especially if you have bad heroes to catch him. And you don't have terrible heroes to catch a Puck, but mind you, Puck did not go Yules. And Dragon Knight doesn't have a blink yet. So for now, Puck is pretty hard to catch. They will need to itemize to solve Puck, because Ringmaster and Warlock do not catch a Puck.
No, it's pretty free. And you've also always got to worry, as Vici Gaming, about the objective-taking capabilities of Spirit, especially Roshan, with this collapsed Slardar and the Shadow Fiend in Yatro's hands.
Yep.
One core kill could lead into the pit. Right now, Spirit, though, playing this bottom lane with Collapse and Panto, poking at Vici Gaming. They will bring a response down here with an Arena Spear, catching the Hoodwink in the back, and of course the Ember Spirit, dealing with Collapse at the front. A double kill for XM.
Catching Hoodwink in the back. Nice there by Mars, sneaking around. But yeah, get punished for farming a little bit too close to the lane. 2 heroes lost, but still Team Spirit are the ones looking to make something happen with Invis Rune on SF. Planet standing very still right now.
No! Even stiller now.
Yeah, he won't be moving again. Not a muscle.
30 seconds of silence from the Ringmaster. Exit stage left.
And Coil is still available. They're thinking they can burst the Ember, and I think they can. There's no saving ability anymore.
Well, Waning Rift spent, but there's a Coil, Avalanche toss, snap the Coil into the damage. And that's an unstoppable streak, so that's another 550 gold for Yatoro. 12k net worth, 19 minutes in.
And while it's worth talking about the combos they've been doing with the SF, this is the second time they used the toss out of coil combo as well. So you toss someone out of the coil, it snaps the coil, extra damage, they're stunned when they land. It's really, really nice. So
it really is clean textbook stuff, isn't it? Like every time they go somewhere, they find a target, they execute their spells, they perfectly get the kill.
Yeah. No, it's been very impressive, and it looks a little bit clunky from Vici right now. They have this super strong teamfight draft, but haven't been given a big teamfight. They're gonna smoke and try and contest Roche, but are they in time?
I mean, 5 seconds for Ember. Vici Gaming need this 5v5. DK makes the first move with a Wheel of Wonder on the puck.
Oh,
Roshan dead,
Dragon
Yatoro
Knight
picks up Aegis, and Shiro's in the pit, dying. Your DK's gone. The Fatal Bombs are good, but you've got no follow-up. Now Bach has Arena in 2 seconds, but collapse! The 3-man crush! Defensive Arena needed from Bach, but Laurel's on top of this Mars now. The Slaughter will survive through it all, and Team Spirit running roughshod over Vici Gaming.
There will be a blink soon. Tiny coming in.
Are they diving? Of course they are. A toss forward puts this Warlock on top of Laurel. Finish off wide. Collapse comes in again, gives him an ultra kill.
I mean, it's the birthday buff, Gareth. What can I say? They're way too good here. Team Spirit are looking so damn dominant, and I'm the one thinking, okay, they're gonna maybe lose early game, maybe struggle a bit against the big ultis, definitely gonna lose all their towers before minute 12 or something, right? None of these things were true. They're not losing early game, they didn't lose their towers early, and they are 9,000 gold ahead at 20 minutes. None of this was in the script, Gareth.
That's just incredible.
Yeah, Tiny again with a toss in on the Dragon Knight. Like, look at that. He gets so far out of position. Ulted up by the Slardar as well. He just melts.
You blink in, and then you get tossed in. You've just traveled 3,000 range away from the rest of your team. Bach is here saying, my ult is on cooldown for 3 seconds, boys. What are we doing?
Just report Ringmaster for not saving you. He should have had like 2 blink daggers.
Underneath the lens.
Yeah, he should have refresh blinked after you, you know.
Where's my global box?
Where's the escape act?
Where's 9 class with the Aghanim Scepter? Incredible chase forward as well. Like Collapse running around on 200 health, knowing the limits, really playing on the very edge.
Yeah, look at
It looks a bit sheepish there, you know, taking the kills away from Yatoro. Might have a few words.
I think he felt pretty good about the crush he got there, catching a lot of heroes.
And an immediate smoke up from Spirit. 3 minutes on Aegis. 11k lead, feeling hot here in game 2.
Don't do it, why? Don't do it. Don't show yourself.
He's got to. He's a Warlock. He needs to push the wave. He wants to cast his spells.
Of course he does. Tiny gets the kill with the toss. I think Yatoro is completely fine with it, though. As long as he keeps getting bigger and bigger, all this experience, gold, he can basically go wherever he wants as well.
Well, according to Collapse, you know, winning tournaments is what matters. Yatoro probably thinking just about winning the game.
Yeah, trophies, but winning the game is how you get trophies. It's a matter of getting there, one series at a time.
Bach trying to get to that BKB. Can also steal the Wisdom Shrine. But it's major catch-up time for Vici Gaming right now. They're farming enemy side of the map, trying to find any little pockets of farm they can find.
Yeah, at least Bacher is very close. He's gonna have it just now, like 40 gold, he will have BKB complete. Dragon Knight desperately needs his though. That's the bigger issue. We've seen him get absolutely just repositioned and demolished.
90%. We've had some pretty wild win probability predictions from Dota Plus. This one seems pretty accurate.
This one I might actually be in line with. Yeah, I would say 9 times out of 10, you know, the team that's got this advantage early on with this draft should be winning. But if anyone can come back, you know, pro players are very capable of making coordinated moves. They have the tools on Vici.
Yeah, but it's like a tightrope act, right? Life is hell for the two supports.
Yeah.
So it's like down to XM to scout, Bach to start the fight, Dragon Knight to dish the damage, while the two supports are, kind of twiddling their thumbs playing from fog.
And they are not allowed to wait around because SF just laying into that mid tower, sieging up quickly.
Tumbles up to high ground. Is pinned against the tower as Bach spears him, gets off the BKB, and first life from Yataro's down.
Oh, the coil.
Tiny in the back with the coil on XM. They've tossed up and coiled out. The arena here, though, is going to defend the base. Vici Gaming. They'll rebuff Team Spirit and blow up Tiny and Puck. And Team Spirit a little too far.
On the hunt.
Yataro on the run. Requiem getting wound up, faking it as Collapse goes for the crush to allow them to escape. Quick BKB, dodges the DK stun. In comes MOUZ, though, another round of spells. Man to dodge not working. Pinned against the tree with a spear. Golden dropped, Requiem comes in, but the whip is cracked. Yataro forcing away the Requiem now.
Oh, that
finally
stun.
comes in, but the stun is there, and Yataro's gonna get chased down. DK and Ember on his tail. Vici Gaming bite back.
Very nice execution by Vici Gaming. I thought that fight would be difficult for him when the coil came in on the Ember early on, but they fight through it really, really well. The Dragon Knight was finally able to deal a ton of damage as well.
A 4K network swing, 1500 to the DK.
That stun towards the end by Dragon Knight right before the SF ulti went out was beautiful. The SF ulti was in the air and the stun connects, so he could not do the TP move that he wanted.
Ah, so annoying. Look at that. Spear, the chains, the whip, the chains all the way back then, like 2 minutes prior.
They really kited it very nicely, though. They also wrapped around. We can see the initiation here, the first part of the fight.
And this time, no coil into toss snap, no toss into Requiem.
Yeah, and look at the spear as well after this phase shift. He waits, holds it, and catches beautifully onto the puck as well. So quick takeout on one of the important heroes. And from here, they just kite down the SF. He doesn't really have many cards to play anymore on SF. It's pretty predictable.
Yeah, so a little mistimed by Spirit there. Maybe needed to wait for Shadow Fiend to respawn off that Aegis. And then have that Requiem with the coil actually combo together. And this way, Vici Gaming, a new lease on life, able to get towards their BKBs, play out on the map, but still got to worry here about the toss coil plays.
But the damage is a bit lacking.
Dragon Knight just comes in, one stun, Laurel's done. A spear on Rue stops him from retreating as well. Finding the Tiny, lurking in the shadows, Vici Gaming absolutely back in this game.
Overestimating their damage output. The Tiny and SF, sure, you can burst the Ember, but Puck doesn't really have that DPS just yet. You don't have the same impact as an SF ulti bursting someone. So unfortunately, they tried to kill someone and just didn't have the numbers. Now, Team Spirit gonna be a little bit on the back foot and more momentum going the way of Vici. And that's allowed Ember to get close to a Shiva's guard as well. Only 600 more gold, he's gonna have a full Shiva's. Amazing to have against the Slardar, against the SF. In particular Slardar, by the way. He has so low attack speed. If you get Shiva's take away some attack speed as well, it feels like you can't hit if you play Slardar.
Blink Crush into Bash. No Bushwhack though. XM able to slip away.
Gets to safety.
Arcane Rune spotted. Yataro tells Laurel something waits for him. Sharing the gifts.
I like to pick up a gem right now. Recognizing that Vision is going to be king, so they buy a gem, put it on the puck, trying to, again, shove back Vici into their base, get any D-wards that you can. Because both teams have shown, if they get initiation, if they get to lead the fight, they can cause some serious damage, right? Dragon Knight stun, and then they just lay in, or the spear into Dragon Knight hitting, or whatever. And at the same time, on the other side, Team Spirit, we've seen multiple executions, how they can just burst someone.
Yeah, nowhere near as simple now with DK and MOUZ BKBs. You can't just get the immediate snap jump onto them.
Holy gunpowder gauntlets.
Yeah.
The gunpowder game.
There's tons of them.
They're all right-click cores, so it makes sense. It's really nice on the Slider Fist, actually. It triggers when you Slider Fist in.
And they all want that immediate burst damage. Makes a lot of sense. Fast spawn on Roche is about 10 seconds away. Shiro is going to face tank the go here. Golem dropped on Tiny. Rue dead for 50, and Team Spirit, that should be the signal to retreat. Shiro steps up, Glimmer caped, and pressing forward with a jump on Shadow Fiend. He's opened up on Yataro. Looks like Spirit are going to try and coil and cause some chaos in the back to make sure the advance is halted.
Yeah, it's just a defensive coil. Drop the coil and then back out. Get out of dodge. They lost the Tiny. It's not the worst loss for Team Spirit. But still, Vici, they will take any advantage they can get and start pushing for more. maybe thinking about the top tower as people TP that way, but I think they're also content just farming. Daedalus would be a big upgrade for the Dragon Knight to wait for. And you don't want to have a fight where you don't have the DK ulti ready, so... Not stressing too much. Mars going for the classic build, the BKB into Refresher after the blink. Or Hex into Refresher, rather.
Yeah, there's a jump on Ember. They toss into Requiem. I mean, it's just beautiful every time. Open up a new exhibit in the Louvre for all these incredible executions that Team Spirit are pulling out.
Cinema. That's what they signaled right after the first game.
Nice art in its purest form.
It just looks so simple. But yeah, they keep playing towards each other. Make sure to hold the Roche.
Simple, minimalist.
Minimalist.
All it takes, 2 spells. Toss into Requiem. Find themselves in a commanding position again. Roshan very close here. And the odds pretty heavily favoring Team Spirit. No surprise with SF in their hands.
Yeah, they're still ahead and they have very nicely scaling lineup, so I can understand. There's definitely some breath of life in this lineup by Vici, though. Once they hit a few of their new power spike coming in, I think they will try and force more fights. The Hex is not super far away. They need 700 more gold for Mars. Dragon Knight needs about 400 gold for his Daedalus.
He's no joke with Daedalus.
Yeah.
With BKB, Daedalus.
Oh, for sure. Do they have a Solar Crest to buff him? They do. Yeah, okay.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
Warlock is also level 15, so he's got that attack speed talent.
Yeah, he's super tanky. He's got Glimmer and Solar behind him. Plenty of steroids for this Dragon Knight to actually stand and deliver.
And they're even thinking about yeah, okay. He had it earlier queued up, maybe a Vladimir's on the Ringmaster, but now he changed it to an Eta Lance. He's thinking about going buffing his team, because obviously they're all right-click based cores.
Does he want to buff himself and his team, or does he want to have that box to save people from these coil toss plays?
I'm surprised he hasn't queued up a Blink Dagger. He got the Glimmer and the Eul Scepter, but no Blink seems so difficult in this game. But yeah, there are defensive items against the Puck, right? He gets jumped by Puck. He wants to be able to set up for a spear if he uses the Puck. Since Mars didn't go Euls, it's really good that he has one on the Ringmaster.
True. Vici know that they've got to contest this Roshan. It has spawned, but Spirit already in position. The dire Roche on the right side of the map.
Yeah.
Everybody knows what's going on.
It's just a matter of how you approach it now. They're holding high grounds on the side of Team Spirit. Everyone is smoke revealing. You can see how they're holding on the ramps. Everyone ready to blink away when smoke breaks.
Spirit even scanned behind themselves. They scanned their own Ancients area in case that wraparound was coming.
Yeah, because their position is aggressively positioned.
That is why, stepping up high ground, immediate jump from Rue. Goes Scepter, bit of safety for the Warlocks, maybe get some spells out while Falcons focuses the SF. BKB Arena Spear with the DK ulti damage, he's got him. Yatoro dead. Team Spirit with no SF, trying to poke still with Collapse and Laurel, playing forward on Shiro. Bushwhack not quite gonna land, but Collapse is giving him the clicks. The Dragon Knight's falling here just to this Slardar. The puck comes back forward again, and they've taken him down, trading out beautifully. Spirit! The Slardar and Puck pairing up in tandem.
He's still alive?
They've killed off 4! How has Collapse been allowed to survive? XM finally gets the kill. One more remnant remains. But Puck and Panto on his tail.
Oh, he missed the silence.
He's going to turn and slice into him. So close. The final battle. The Solar Crest keeps him alive.
Oh, that was dangerously close. His sleight of fist dodged the silence from Laurel's Puck, almost turning that around. Man, he fought his heart out on XM, trying to bring that back. What a battle.
Puck versus Ember. Glorious battle to the bitter end, but a 5-man wipe as Spirit clear the floor.
I mean, that fight worked out better for Team Spirit than it maybe should have after the initiation of losing the SF immediately. They took a really good fight where they punished the grouping of Vici Gaming. They got pretty close to each other, but can we just rewind and think about how that all started? Why? With the biggest balls on a Warlock I've ever seen, he just walks up the high ground. He says, you know what? I don't care if you go on me.
It's a wheelbarrow.
Yeah, who cares if you initiate on a Warlock? So he gave vision for his team by walking first, realizing that Mars can't go first. He needs to be the one catching people.
And Slardar with that Aghanim Scepter. So deceptively tanky, playing down in the river in the stream.
Yep.
Very difficult to toy with. As Spirit all respawned, 5 alive in the Roche pit. Ember dead for 10 seconds. Vici Gaming not going to give this one up without a fight. Well, green lights. Except for Warlock, as we can listen to what Yatoro's been saying.
Меня убили, парни. ДК без БКБ, парни. ДК без БКБ, арены нету. Парни, вам надо ДК убивать, вам надо ДК убивать.
Yeah.
He knew they spent everything on him. Roshan for Yatoro, Aegis for him. The Fatal Bombs are good, but this Requiem kills off Buck. DK's BKB wearing out and Collapse knows there's blood in the water. Doesn't land the crush, the BKB was still up, but DK's getting bashed around. Spirit in the backlines though. XM is contending with Panto and Yatoro.
Oh, he's getting hurt.
Oh, the
Nice.
pikes, the kiting, the damage resif! LOL
Slaughter
finishes the
still
job while Slaughter. What's he doing? Going 1v3?
He can go for more. He can't die to just the Dragon Knights. He can keep chasing on this, but he doesn't have anyone with him really. But against the Aghanim Scepter Slaughter with 4,000 HP, no way to bring him down. The double push there, the Psychic Headband into Hurricane Pike. Poor guy got shoved away so hard, he wishes he clicked the steering chains in time.
That was that Ember death summary. Yeah, 1,800 massive clicks at the end.
Isn't that a really rare death screen for an Ember? Where you didn't get silenced or stunned or anything?
Just got punched.
You literally just got right-clicked to death. Yeah.
I think you're right. No hex, no nothing, just die.
Yeah, not a single ability was landed on him other than like Illusory Orb, I think.
Not an honorable death.
No, it's... I mean, in a way, it was honorable. He died a warrior. It's just a bit unfortunate to die as a spirit without getting controlled.
Ember is very sad.
Yeah. I suppose the pushes were a form of control, shoving him away. If he got the kill onto the
that's
hoodwink,
valid.
at least maybe something would happen.
And most important thing off the back of that is Shadow Fiend got his hands on Aegis and got to keep it.
There's a clear pattern, by the way, that Team Spirit, they are enjoying their minus armor drafts here in this series, by the way. In this game, they're using it to full advantage with the Vladimirs coming out from Hoodwink as well. Solar Crest, Vladimirs, buffing up the SF and the Slardar.
Laurel getting a bit twitchy on the high ground.
It's got a gem sitting there, waiting for any Warlock or Ringmaster to come walking by.
Animation cancelling nothing. Like when you're playing Lifestealer and you get him to do push-ups.
You do as much APM as possible. I wonder what
Damn that button.
Bristleback players do now that they can auto-cast their quills. Like, what do they do with all their spare time?
I don't know.
really makes you think.
Scratching their head. Just all chat. Some lovely messages to their opponents.
Yeah, happy birthday and such.
Yeah.
Have we seen any happy birthdays from Vici, actually?
No.
Toxic!
Disgraceful.
Yeah.
They probably don't know.
If they lose, they should just play it off as it was a happy birthday present. Like,
Yeah, it's all for you, Yatoro. XM being eyed up, but Yatoro just get poked at there by Planet. I felt something coming. 3 lanes, though, trending towards Radiant Base. Vici Gaming have also popped this Dragon form. So potential here for Spirit if they keep playing through top lane to bypass the ulti of DK.
Team Spirit are completing some items too. They have Assault Cuirass just delivered now for Slardar, so he's feeling pretty strong. The puck is very close to having a power spike. 200 gold, the Nullifier will be up, and that will be very problematic for some of these heroes, like the Glimmer and Yule Scepter, the box from Ringmaster, the Gold Scepter on the Warlock. All of these tools, even the Solar Crest, can get removed. The box, of course, you need to click the Nullifier first. You can't click it after the fact.
Vici have to maintain all the lanes. The Spirit were sitting and waiting again. Just setting a trap around that Slardar.
I think
Ambush Predator.
Yatoro is a bit bored of getting bursted in the fight, so he's going for a Lincoln Sphere to protect himself against some of the jump. There's a Hex, of course. There's the Dragon Knight stun as well. Very, very good to have a Lincolns against this.
And it makes it now there's not really a target, a core target the Radiant can go on, right?
Yeah. Also, if you think about it, what do they have to break the Lincolns? That's always the follow-up question when you think about, okay, there's good stuff to break or to stop, but what is there that can break it? It's literally just Warlock.
Yeah,
Right?
I mean,
There's Yule Scepter on Ringmaster, I guess. But that's it. You have Hex, you have DK stun, And that's all your targeted abilities from your 3 core players.
And Fatal Bombs, all 3 high-value spells or abilities or items.
Yeah, but from your core players, it's literally just the 2 things that you want to block is what they have. So it's amazing Lincoln's game.
High ground hold here for Vici Gaming.
Because a lot of times, if you crawl close enough to SF as a Warlock or a Ringmaster, you might just be dying already.
Barely get to see him. Aegis is timing out just under 10 seconds. So for now, it's a bit of chip damage on this tier 3 tower from Spirit, as again, they shove every wave in towards Radiant base. No chance for Vici to stretch their legs or get anything done.
Yeah, I think patience is the name of the game over on the side of Radiant right now. They did go for Vladimir's themselves, by the way, on Warlock. So they were thinking about getting it on Ring, but Warlock was the one to pick it up. Right now, very close to Satanic over on the Dragon Knight. That will help him a bit, but I think that's not enough. I think they have to wait all the way for Mars to complete his next item, the Refresher. Get the Refresher Hex because of the Lincolns. Otherwise, I don't see how you kill the SF.
Vici going to start getting cabin fever soon. Warlock and Ringmaster stuck in the base for the last couple of minutes. I'd be bored.
They need to get up, like Puck, do some mountaineering, you know, sit up here where the air is crisp, just enjoying it.
Animation cancel your hero breathing. Do some manual breathing.
Why you gotta do that to our viewers?
And manual blinking as well. Get the double whammy for you, there you go. Love you. Production's also a little upset with what I'm so sorry.
I'll punch him later, guys. He's sitting too far right now, out of reach, but he's not safe, guys.
Well, XM very delicately poking away at the creep wave. Buck brute forces it. I kind of feel that Team Spirit are edging towards this Radiant base.
Team Spirit are saying that 1 is not enough and decided to go for 1 more nullifier on Slardar. Really goes to show how important it is for them to have some stuff to deal with this box, for instance. I think the box is primary incentive for getting the nullifiers. Also works as a nice defensive tool, though. 10 armor, like, people don't talk enough about how 10 armor on nullifier is a lot, dude.
Yeah, it's great.
It's so good. It goes from 4 from the helm, and then you're like, yeah, sure, +6.
It's kind of incredible, though, the stark difference, right, from our perspective, seeing everything, knowing where all these heroes are on the map, knowing that Vici Gaming could technically come out of their base and farm some neutral camps, push some lanes, but Spirit are projecting such a strong image on the map that you don't know where anyone is. Slardar, SF, Tiny have literally been farming back through the jungle for the past minute and a half.
Yeah. And you can't let this go on for too long. If you do let Spirit just farm the entire map, you're just gonna lose by attrition, right? You don't have any resources. They're 27,000 gold behind, so they do the only thing that you can do in this move, which is to smoke out.
Yeah, I mean, you have to regain your supply lines.
There's a Lincolns on the puck. The initiation has to be clean if they go.
Team Spirit didn't blow up the bridges on the way out.
It's
That's
a good
jump on the puck. Immediate blow up on Laurel. That's very important to reclaim the gem as well.
That's a really good one. If they get lucky, it could be an early Roche spawn as well. Maybe force a buyback out of the puck. But already this allows them to get on the map and use the Ember Gem to deward a little bit. That's where you need confidence from your Mars player. He could have tried to lead with some form of Hex, but Lincoln's, of course, stopping that. So he has to just blink and land that spear. That's straight up how you go.
A minute and a half for Roche. So time for Puck to respawn. Fortunately there for Spirit.
Thinking about
Even
the Dragon Knight,
they see the DK into Requiem. BKB's out.
It was too
Hero,
late.
though. Wheel of Wonder comes in. They don't time it, Spirit. The Arena gonna catch Panto inside as Ember opens up on them. And Team Spirit realizing now they've kind of run out of gas. The spear back on Collapse. Catches Slardar. Puck does come in. The buyback from Laurel. Turning it back on the DK. And this double damage Puck annihilates him. Buck's being burnt down. Jump in from Laurel. Needs the box. Yatoro can come in with a raise and a click to finish the job. Buck gets the high ground. Hides on the cliff top. The orb over, but the Glimmer Cape keeps him invis.
Ooh, Buck. Some gaming coming out to get out of that situation. In the end, really good for them. Like, sure, you lost your Dragon Knight, but you forced the Puck buyback. You survived with the Mars. I think that was really, really nice for them, actually. What looked like it was going to be a disaster. If Mars died as well, it would be immediate high ground push. But since SF doesn't have ulti, doesn't have BKB, I think Team Spirit are just going to chill and try and control Roche. Unfortunately for them, on the side of Vici, Roche is spawning soon, and without Dragon Knight, it can be hard to control it, of course.
That puck buyback came out of nowhere for me.
Yeah, I mean, he saw the big fight that was brewing. It was one moment where they didn't have the perfect combination between SF and Tiny.
And Shiro gets off his BKB.
It has to be hard, though, playing a game of SF with Kayasha. Then you go into the next game and you don't have the Kayasha. Like, to
Expectations.
mentally be ready for how long it's gonna take. So he mistimed this ulti, and I think it really fucks with you when you play with cast speed increase and then play without it in the same series.
Even as Yatoro.
Yeah, I mean, it's so easy to forget in the heat of the moment. So if he just casted a little bit earlier, that would have been a clean takedown on DK, and the fight would have looked entirely different.
Still going to get their hands on Roshan, though. It looks like Vici Gaming far too distant to come and contest it, but Team Spirit are going to respect it.
Yeah, they just forced the roar and then they back out. Just keeping Vici guessing. Vici are just saying, okay, if you Roche right now, that's whatever. Like, we're going to get mapped.
Well, right now, Vici have DK Ember as important buybacks. Spirit only with Collapse on their cores.
Yeah, but
They get Aegis now.
We'll have the Aegis on SF, so that's more valuable than a buyback.
Oh, that's important too.
Straight back into fight.
Puck's Aeon Disc. That's going to help a lot. Oh, Rue, he's found a jump. It was almost back to Mars. They'll find the Warlock, who goes Scepter TPs and is home safe.
Didn't have the... Oh, I see. He didn't go for the Nullifier. He changed his mind and went Shadowblade instead of Collapse. And thanks to that, Warlock's going to say, okay, I can just go Scepter and TP.
Sure can.
But understandable. The Silver Edge is very good for Collapse here as well. He's playing against Mars, against Dragon Knight. It's going to be pretty damn good for increased kill potential. And you get some nice attack speed, which Slardar never complains about having some.
Backs against the wall again, though. Vici Gaming stuck in their base.
Cabin Fever, round 2.
Team Spirit literally have the avalanche coming to surround Vici Gaming.
They're holding on to a very, very significant gold lead. 27,000, even 45 minutes in, is still a really, really big, chunky lead. He's going for a pivot on Shiro, trying to throw a curveball. Shiro queues up the butterfly. This can come with some deadly timing, because if you don't have MKB yet to deal with it, you're going to struggle to hit him with Slardar and with SF. And Slardar in particular not being able to hit means he doesn't bash you. So I like the commitment here from Dragon Knight. He needed attack speed, and Butterfly is the best option.
Dragon form halfway through the duration. Spirit, they're on the doorstep here.
Yeah, I don't think he showed himself, though, with the Dragon form. So at least they're unaware that he doesn't have ulti soon. He's just trying to farm the side lane to get his level 25. Shiro is saying, please, guys, just hold them away a little bit. Meanwhile, everyone's like, I don't want to get jumped by Tiny.
But there's a banner with a catapult.
Yeah.
Slowly whittling away at your buildings. Lal will try and clear the wave. Oh, Vici Gaming watching.
40 seconds for DK ulti. This is going to be how long they need to wait. At least need to kite for like 20 seconds more before the fight starts. Otherwise, he's going to be pretty useless.
Slowly kill the barracks.
I mean,
feeling pretty safe here with Lincoln's Aeon Disc.
it is a very tentative push. Aegis Butterfly SF is walking up now.
Until Yatoro will finally force the glyph.
10 seconds, they're ready on Dragon Knights.
Close. It's getting very close.
Yeah, I think mid-racks is not really worth dying for here. You just chill, look to take a fight afterwards. They do have a smoke on Warlock, so could be looking to make a move out. Need to push lanes first, though. At least the mid lane next creep wave needs to get taken down, and the banner, of course. Banner provides a lot of vision as well. I've seen people place it just as a word sometimes, as a meme. It's very funny.
Yeah, put it on high ground.
It's not the longest duration, but gives you some information.
Arcane Rune Lal Puck.
So we have triple Aeon Discs on Dire. Worth noting, there's 3 heroes you can't burst now, and there's still no nullifier on Radiant. I guess they can Yule Scepter after the Aeon Disc triggers to dispel, but yeah, it's a bit tricky. A bit tricky to say how they're gonna burst the key targets.
It's triple Lincolns, triple BKB, triple Aeon Disc, right? They've got all the abilities and items to stay alive.
In reality, like Slardar might be the best target for them to go on, which is kind of weird because he's this tanky off-lane guy that you don't imagine being a good target, but he's been doing some work when he gets to live in the fights. Either that or get on the SF, of course. If they can connect on SF, that's amazing, but BKB and Lincolns and Aegis, it's hard to get him.
I mean, DK does have the damage. He's got that attack speed.
He does hit hard, for sure. And he has the blink as well for mobility, so he can connect. This next fight is going to be so precarious for the side of Vici.
Yeah,
how do they approach it?
When Laurel has a lot of freedom here to get into the back lines and just coil someone back, they make the jump on the SF. Lincoln does pop, but Yatoro just BKBs and walks it off. Now a toss. Rue puts Shiro in an awkward position. Collapsing Yatoro, getting the damage forward. A defensive arena required as Y dies and buys back. Laurel got in there. Dealt with a Warlock. Speared across, but Aeon Disc procs and gets him away to safety.
Running away. Team Spirit are very happy to reset here. They used less resources. A lot of spells were used by Radiant. No arena available, no BKB on the Mars available. Same for Dragon Knight.
In they come. Oh my god! Oh, the damage! They need the box and the DK to disengage. XM does get a nice jump in the back, but he disappears! Yatoro just crits him down! Ember will buy back and jump into Slardar, killing off Collapse at least. Laurel, another Aeon Disc pop, and Team Spirit disengaging.
Running away again. SF doesn't have a Satanic. He doesn't really want to stand toe-to-toe for too long, just kiting.
Triple buyback, and still no victory there for Vici Gaming. Yes, they hold on to their base. Yes, they killed Slardar, but a painful existence as Team Spirit still dictating how this game is going.
Team Spirit do have triple buyback. They don't want to use the Slardar immediately. They want to wait for him to normally respawn. But yeah, they're so strong in these fights. It's very, very hard to burst anyone. They tried to take down the SF quickly, but too much disruption coming in the moment they go on someone. Tiny jumps and avalanches, the puck jumps in on the back line. They could not get a clean combination to burst Yatoro. And those Aeon Discs, all proving to be so annoying. Even the Hoodwink has a Lincoln Sphere. The luxury items are abounds for Team Spirit. They just have so many items. They're about to have a refresher on Tiny soon? What? Okay.
Level 24 on their two supports.
Yeah, sure.
Closing in on all his massive talents.
I mean, Hoodwink?
Oh.
Okay.
Laurel's dying.
Laurel? Yeah.
Dead for 2 minutes, actually.
Be playing a bit too aggressive there. Didn't expect him to make a move to come out of base, but again, similar to the earlier pickoff, only this time even more impactful as he does not have buyback on puck.
So 2 minutes where Vici Gaming can get across the river, push some lanes.
They can get something done for sure. See a replay here.
There's Bach again.
Yeah.
Spear into arena.
The confident Bach Mars. I mean, they did talk about it on the panel, you know, do you let it through, do you ban it? You know, this Mars is definitely a super comfortable hero in his hands.
Actually getting to push a tier 2.
Friendly little dodge on the bullet. Let's Mars take it instead.
Get down, Mr. Dragon Knight.
Okay, so he decided to go for a Gold Scepter, interestingly, on the Mars, even against the Nullifier. It's still useful because he has Refresher and BKB, so he can still mess around with, like, when Puck is unable to go on him.
Planet gets some high ground vision, but it has been noticed by Spirit. Puck dead for 50 means a golem dropped on this tier 3 tower is going to elicit a response, a toss back into base. Shiro sent onto the SF as they Requiem and start right-clicking into the DK. Yatoro disengages for now as Rue's going to get arenaed. Collapse inside, dealing with Bach, refresh up and turn to fight. The box is there to save the Mars. Trying to slip back, but Arena again with Shiro's arrival. Rue is going to get taken down and Collapse in trouble inside here too. They've got buybacks available, Team Spirit, but Shiro standing and delivering against Yatoro. The DK is out damaging the SF. Shadow Fiend, Lincoln stuff, backing up to tier 4s. Rue brought back. trying to retreat with Panto, but XM's poking at them. A refresh up from Shiro now. More damage with a stun on Tiny, and down you go.
Yatoro is trying to go in. He's still low though.
Collapse, and Yatoro, they've lined it up.
Ooh, the damage with the race. I think he got a crit on the race with the auto attack damage. Puck is hunting after the Ember.
And they found the Warlock. XM refreshed. Lol is trying to hunt him, but there's no coil to be had. The Ember Spirit got more remnants to get back home. But we're now looking at a situation where DK's dead for 80, no buyback. MOUZ, same story.
Yeah, they're dead. I mean, Ember, can you maybe sometime hold on to this? But it's going to be so difficult. It's just him and the Ringmaster. The SF is coming, and he's full HP this time, and he's angry.
Oh, he is mad. 4 versus 2. How dare you ruin my birthday? Give me this 2-0 victory.
He's going for it. He's going for the safe push. Doesn't want to commit for a full throne. If he doesn't go throne immediately, though, do they still have time to take throne at the top?
I'm not sure. I guess they don't necessarily know that DK doesn't have buyback. Everyone else is on cooldown.
Yeah, DK spent his money. He bought out for the refresher. They're going to go for the Mega Creeps. Play it safe.
Try and push in all the waves. Get all the
keep
Megas.
going afterwards. I think they can end it.
First, it's 30 seconds still. Third lane drops, and Yatoro now looks at tier 4 towers. 25 to go.
They have to do something. They have to go in. Play some disruption.
Ringmaster sitting in Fountain, looking for a chance. Remnant in, Shiva's out. Yatoro BKB's up. Glyph is there, protecting Ancient. Rue pings it, says, let's go attack. Yatoro's BKB expires. Laurel will deal with the Ember Spirit in the back, and GG call. Team Spirit take it.
GG, well played by Team Spirits, holding on to the lead for the majority of the game. There were moments where Vici struck back, but they were not able to take full control the way Team Spirit did.
Impressive stuff, and happy...